So, përshëndetje të gjithëve, unë jam Elsoni, and I want to thank you all for joining this lesson. I've been organizing these lessons for over 10 years now, and currently they're taking place once a month, the first Sunday of each month at 5 p.m. Albania time. If you want to join this lesson, the link is in the description box of the video below. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel in order not to miss any of the future videos. This lesson is the most requested lesson ever. Since like 10 years ago, I've received requests to have a lesson about the plural of nouns because there is hardly any information online about Albanian grammar in general. So I decided to do this video as well, but also because I wanted to cover many other topics before we do this one. So it's the plural of nouns. Today, since there's a lot to talk about it, I've separated it in two parts. This is the plural of masculine nouns, and in the next lesson, the plural of feminine nouns. Mirë, do të fillojmë me prezantimin. Elizabeta, përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje, jam Elizabeta nga Amerika. Dhe jetoj në Vlorës, në Vlorë. And më pëlqen shumë Shqipëria.
Më pëlqen Shqipëria?
Shqipëria.
Po. Po ushqimi të pëlqen?
Pari?
Ushqimi?
Jam pensionista.
Të pëlqen ushqimi? Ushqimi, the food?
Oh, ushqimi. I thought you said pushqimi. I was going to say, I don't work.
Okay. So të pëlqen
ushqimi. Ushqimi shumë shishme.
Shumë shishme, po. Ushqimi shqiptar shumë shishme. Tamena, përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje, unë quhem Tahmina, unë punoj Londra.
Në Londër, banoj në Londër.
What else should I say?
Dhe po mëson shqip sepse ke shok shqiptar?
Po mësoj shqip sepse buri im nga Shqipëria.
Është nga Shqipëria. Është nga Shqipëria. Shumë mirë.
Shqipëria dhe është gjuhë e shumë bukur.
Është gjuhë e bukur. Është gjuhë shumë e bukur. Shumë e bukur.
Shumë e bukur.
Mirë, Torben, Lensen, you can write down your answer. Torben, po?
Unë quhem Torben, jam nga Nurembergu në Gjermani. Dhe mësoj shqip sepse shumë më pëlqen dhe jetoja një herë të konsiderueshme në Kosovë dhe në Maqedoni. Po, dëshiroj të mësoj gjuhën edhe më tej.
Më tej, shumë mirë. Jetova për një kohë, jo për një herë, për një kohë të konsiderueshme. Mirë, ose për një periudhë kohe të konsiderueshme. Mirë, në Shqipëri. Okay, I'll start with the screen share. Those who are present, I've sent you the link. You can check it out. Let's see. Okay, so as I said, if you want to join this lesson, here are the links at the very bottom. I'm also offering private lessons, so if anyone is interested, you can send me an email there or leave a comment somewhere. Mirë, so as I said, it's in two parts. This is the plural of masculine nouns. We're going to learn how to build the plural indefinite, so the basic form, and then the definite. We'll do some exercises in the end. The plural is very, very, very complicated because it's very irregular. I've tried to make it as easy as possible for you to understand, but as I said, it's a very complicated topic. Nouns in general, so they have a form, can be indefinite or definite form. They have a case. We have talked about all these cases. They have a gender, masculine, feminine, neutral. There will be a lesson about that one as well. And they have a number, singular or plural. So not all nouns are countable, but in general, nouns can be in singular or in plural. So that's the one we'll talk about today. We'll talk about the plural of masculine nouns. We'll talk about the plural of masculine nouns in all cases. So I'll let you know what are the endings these plural nouns take. And we'll talk about the definite and the indefinite form of these plural nouns. So these that I underlined. Okay, some general rules you should know about the plural of masculine nouns. or in nouns in general, are that we do have some endings, we do have some general rules that most nouns follow. However, for many words, the plural is irregular. So that's the first thing you should know. The second thing is to build a plural of masculine nouns. These are the most common suffixes that we use, these 4. There are other ones, but these are the most common ones. And in Albanian, there are some nouns that have 2 different forms in plural. So the same noun could have 2 forms. There are not many of them, there are some. And the last one, there are nouns in Albanian that have 2 genders. There are nouns that are both masculine and feminine, which makes it even more confusing. So these are some general facts or rules about plural of masculine nouns. Should you have any questions, you can just interrupt me, okay? So let's start quickly with those. We will talk about each one of these endings, which nouns take these endings, how we build them, etc. And we'll learn now the plural of masculine nouns, the indefinite form, so the very basic form. Here's the first suffix, suffix e, nouns that end in im. Also, the majority of borrowed words or loan words or foreign words, they take a in plural, and here's a list of them. I have translated those that are like, let's say, Albanian, and the other ones that come from English or other language. I haven't translated them since they are obvious what they mean. So gabim, a mistake, or mendim, msim, ushtrim, vendim, decision. So these that end in im and hundreds of other ones, you build a plural by putting a at the end, which means gabime, mendime, msime, ushtrime, vendime, etc. Okay, that's the first part. And then majority of borrowed words or loan words, especially those with such as album or forum, museum, stadium, the plural with a, stadiume, museume, etc. Then we have other loan words, action, which is like an action, station, embryon, emission, campion. So check out those typical endings, ion, lexion, position, profession. So plural with e, professione, lezione, posizione, emissione, TV programs. The next one, typical for nouns that end in a T. I'll put it in green color. So T, such as fact, facultet, innat. So that's actually an emotion. Normally it's not countable, but in Albanian there are many expressions that use that in the plural form, innate. So mbaj shumë innate, that means to hold lots of, I think the right English word is grudges, to hold grudges. And that one is also countable in English. Yes, grudges is better here. So innate. Insect, yes, from English. Convict. So it is from Latin and it means dormitory, right? Dorm. Then we have kopst, garden or kindergarten. So all of these, krevat, niet, a tool, personalitet, qytet, krye, qytet, capital as well. Raft, shtet, katund, a song with D as well, katund, village or vend, restaurant, apparat. Check out, most of them are loan words, palat, accident, argument, document, experiment, etc. So they build a plural by adding an e at the end. Facultete, universitete, documente, experimente, continente, palate. Palate is apartment building. Städte, states, horizonte, accidente, etc. Restaurante. Okay? So the first one was those with im, and the rest are loan words. So, but we can see like a pattern. Those with ion, for example. Those with t, meant, I guess, argument, document, experiment, etc. Continent. You add a at the end. Let's check out some other ones. Festival, hydrocentral, crystal, mal, a mountain, dükkan, store, plan, vulkan, themel, that's a foundation of a building. Character, mister, also the plural with a. Hotele, tunnele, canale, cristale, etc. Then we have some other ones. Camp, the camp. Comb, that's a nation. Costume, monastir, Microbe, motive, yes, you can guess from English as well. Plage, that's a beach. You build the plural by adding a at the end. Some exceptions, so these are also loan words, but they don't take a. Aeroplan takes no a. Aeroplan, autobus, televisor, campion, camion. The plural is with at the end. And on the other hand, we have shirit, that's ribbon. Ribbon. Film, the plural is with a. Shirita, filma. And there are many, many other exceptions, but just some of them are here. Any questions so far?
You mentioned campion with both. In the upper line that it is with an E, and in the lower line that it is without an E.
Campion, you mean camion? So campion,
but also here in the third line from the top, it's also mentioned.
Campion? Yes. Yes. Good for pointing it out. It could have either a campion, but that's campione.
Female,
no, that's in biology. You know, you take a, how do you call it in English? A sample. So it has two meanings. If it's a champion, like the person, then it is with and campione, you take a sample from a gevebe, you know, a marrow, right? Campione biologique, for example. Yes. We have Nicolas. Hello, përshëndetje. Or Nicolas.
Yes, Nicolas, përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje, dëshiron të prezantohesh nga je dhe pse dëshiron të mësosh shqip?
Po, a mund të më dëgjoni mirë?
Të dëgjoj shumë mirë, po.
Jam Nicolas, 29 vjeç. Po mësoj shqip sepse e dashura ime është shqiptare. E ze më pëlqen shumë të mësoj gjuhë në general.
Gjuhë të huaja. Okay, shumë mirë. Thank you for joining. So we are talking about the plural of nouns. Shumsi I emrave. Should you have any questions, just interrupt me, okay? We were just talking about the very first suffix, the first ending. It's with a, nouns that build the plural with a. And those were nouns that end in im, and as you can see, tens of loan words, borrowed words. Some exceptions at the end. Other questions? Here. Some typical words that are used with the plural are, let me add another slide, 1 second, slide number 5. Are the most used one is disa, which means some or several. And there is a short form of disa, which is simply sa, which also means the same thing, some or several. Then we also have shum, many. Then we also have goja, for example, quite many, shum, goja, etc. So these are typical words that are used with the plural in front of the noun. This was plural indefinite. How do we build the plural definite? For these nouns, it's very easy. All we have to do, slide number 6, is add a T at the end. Let's take the word msim, lesson, the plural. So following the rule we just learned, you add a at the end, msime, which means simply lessons. And then if you are to say the lessons, you add a T at the end, msimet. Stadium, stadiume, stadiumet. So that T at the end is the English the lessons. Profession, professione, professionet. Fact, facte, factet. Just a T at the end. So that's the plural definite form. Be careful, all the nouns that you see, so not the exceptions, all the nouns that you see here are those nouns that we said earlier that have two genders. They are both masculine and feminine. All these nouns are masculine in singular and they are all feminine in plural. Now this will be relevant for the upcoming lesson. We'll not talk about more in details about this one, but just keep in mind that nouns that end in a in the plural are all feminine, even though in singular they're all masculine. Okay, we'll talk later about that one as well. So, okay, that was the plural definite. Before we go to the next suffix, any questions about these nouns? Any words you want me to translate? You understand all of this?
Po.
Here? Okay, so a majority are loan words, as you can see. The rest, I did translate them. Here, the second suffix is with at the end. And here are the professions, nationalities, and some other like titles or like people. They build the plural by adding an at the end. For example, shkrimtar, poet, ushtar, engineer, arsimtar, drejtor, simply put an at the end. Or some nationalities or where people come from. Dursak, someone from Durrës, Romak, from Rome, Shqiptar, German, Spanish, Greek, etc. You put at the end. And some other like people or titles, for example, student or antar, a member, luftar, fighter or warrior, campeón, das more, someone who participates in a wedding. So it's not really guest in general. Guest would be another word, but someone who goes to a wedding is called a das more. Pertaț, someone who is lazy, a lazy person. This is not an adjective here, it's a noun, pertaț. Puntor, someone who is a hardworking person. Șoc, becar, someone who is single, a client, socialist, someone, a socialist. So you build a plural by adding an at the end. Okay, and other professions, other nationalities, yes. We do have some exceptions at the end. Check out professions and nationalities that end in S. They stay the same in plural, so you do not add that at the end. For example, msues, teacher, stays the same. You do not add the Nzănës, a pupil. Macedonas, someone from Macedonia. Tiranas, someone from Tirana. Studiues, a researcher, scientist. Perkthyes, translator. They stay the same in plural. You do not add the Is there a difference in pronunciation? So let me write an example here. Let's say poet, and the plural was with a, poet. So what's the difference? The difference is that if it has the vowel in front is longer. So this is poet, and this is poet. So it's slightly longer, you can hardly notice it, especially when we speak then quickly, it's very quickly, then you'll not really hear it, but the vowel in front, always if there's an the vowel in front of it, it should be pronounced longer. I wrote something here, Turk, that's an exception, let me add it at the end, not Turk. Turk is an exception, in plural is Turç with a ch, a q. Okay, but Grek, for example, even though it has also a K, it is with a at the end, Grek. Okay, so professional nationalities and some other titles. Let's check out other nouns, also take the formular, so again, I guess similar like foreign words, elephant, yes, planet, maimun, penguin, then we have fialor, fishek, bullet, dushek, lot, a tear, flock, just one piece of hair, and flock, so with flock, that's, yes, flock and flock. You see the difference? Flock, flock. So it's a bit longer if it is in the plural. Lek, just the Albanian currency, one lek, and leg, it's longer, so money, monies or lek, Albanian lek. So the plural is with a. Check out the third. Sometimes some nouns not only take the at the end, but an extra r in front. And some other ones from Turkish, they take lar. That's how Turkish builds the plural with lar. So brie, that's not here, horn. The horn of animals, so brie, the plural is brier, so with an extra r. Dre, dreer, fre, freer, tra, trar, that's, yes, the English word joins. I have no idea if that's correct. Tra, dru, drur, and then we have this from Turkish, baba, babalar, ustalar, jajalar. So suffix a are such nouns that take the suffix a. And these, in number 3, they have an extra r there. Any questions? Can you put, yeah? Something you'd like to add, maybe? Okay, let's keep going. If you're watching from YouTube and you want to join the lesson, here is the link at the very bottom. Okay, let's go to the plural definite for these nouns. Normally you just add a t, but sometimes check out the last one, you might need a vowel in between. Let's check out the first one first. Shkrimtar, shkrimtar. So with you don't really pronounce it, but I'm pointing it out. There is an there. Shkrimtarët, the writer. So you simply put a T. Student, student, studentët. Jaja, jajalar, jajalarët. How about mësues, which we said it stays the same in singular and in plural. Now, if we just add a T, it's difficult to pronounce, or there are two consonants together. St, right? So to avoid that, we put the vowel E in between. Mësuesit, nxënësit, përkthyesit, studiuesit, turk, turq was the plural definite, turqit. Because turqt, you need like a vowel in between to make it sound better, turqit. So that's a plural definite. Now, how to use the definite and indefinite, that was in the very first lesson. We talked about those. It's exactly the same about the plural as well. You will use it exactly the same way. Okay, shall we go to the next suffix or any questions? Do you understand all the words? Okay. So the next suffix is with a, the third one. The majority of one-syllable words. One-syllable words are words that have one vowel. Form the plural by adding an a. For example, chun, which is like boy or lad. Chuna, dem, dema, der, dera. Grep, grepa, so the hook to fish. Chip, chipa, so that's a jar, but it's a very specific one. We also have, where is it? Somewhere here, kavanos. So that's actually the normal jar, and chip is the one with a very long neck, I guess, how you call it? Chip. Gel, jela, jemba, thorn, cats, the baby goat, ketsa, cream, creamba, plepa, ripa, yes, spets, spetsa, stola. So typically nouns that have one vowel in them. Jep, jepa, trup, body, trupa, vich, vicha, yes. Masculine nouns. Now this rule we'll also mention in the next lesson. It's exactly the same for feminine nouns. It's the only rule that is the same for feminine and masculine nouns. So nouns that end in you drop that you put ra. Cylinder, the geometric shape, cylindra. Liber, libra. Dimmer, dimra. Emer, emra. And the same for last name, biemer, biemra. Caliber, calibra, I guess the same word in English, calibrium or something. Liter, litra, meter, metra, dumetra. Ministra, numra, piepra, melons. Registra, registers. So you drop the you add ra. And there are some also other nouns that take a. These are like irregular forms. Carcalets, that's a grasshopper, carcaletza. Bur, burra, the plural. Castravets, castravetza, trandafil, trandafila, cavanos, cavanosa, microfona, telefona, the plural. So these are nouns that take a at the end. And in number 2, they have an extra r. Questions? Pyotr? Here, let's check the definite form for these nouns. You simply add a T, like we said. So T to the plural. Chun, chuna, chunat. Liber, libra, librat. Carcaletsat, burat. Simply put a T. Is there any we can put it? Let me see. Burat, no. Carcaletsat, calibrat, no. Simply put a T to all of them. Okay, let's go to the next suffix, which is the ñ, the NJ. It's very common. It's actually only for masculine nouns, not feminine ones. Nouns that end in a stressed vowel, you build up. There might be exceptions, right? But normally, now if a noun ends in a stressed vowel, you build a plural by adding ñ there. So here are some words. Who, it's a stick. Normally it's a thicker stick because we have also another one somewhere here, also for stick. Here, skop. Skop, that's a normal stick, and who is like those that you use to build fences. So who, plural is by adding ñ, huny. Kali, inside of the corn, kaliny. Bari, barini. Dru, druny. It's a noun that has two forms. Drur, we said earlier, sometime a few slides ago. Druny as well. Chilimi or fmi are synonyms. Chilimi, chilimini. G, gin, breast, gin. Hero, heroni. Kushri, kushrin. Min, pe, the yarn or thread, pein. Shalchi, shalchin. Turi, another word for face. It's a bit informal. Turi, turin. Zotrin, gentlemen or misters, sirs, gentlemen, zotrin. Mulin, the mill. And Ju, I put it with that start there. So not only an en, juni, but an extra at the end. You can consider it as an exception, yes. For niece, juni. And some nouns take an extra o in front, such as ftua, the fruit, ftoń, so the ua is dropped, ftoń. Patkua, the horseshoe, patkoń, thua, soń, so the ua is dropped. Some others take e, so en. Budala, like an idiot, budaleń. Prua, the water stream, preń. Fukara, poor person, fukareń. So the last vowels are dropped. Some take in, shkomb, a rock, shkombin, jarpurin, shkopin, selbin, if it's a garlic clove, for example. Du selbin hudra. So it's not only NJ, it could be with another vowel in front. Okay, questions? Can you put it? Now the plural definite is a bit different, not only a T, but an extra at the end. So bari, barin, barint, with an extra it's not really pronounced, it's not pronounced at all, but with an extra when you spell it. Soint, the nails, budalent, the stupid people, the idiots, shkombint, the rocks. Nicolas, kender je pyetje?
Joten.
Okay, Elisabeth? Torben?
Yeah. So
it's a plural of nouns. It's there are so many rules, but there are exceptions. There is a lot to keep in mind. And even we Albanians struggle with it. So let me go to Enni. Piru, piruni. Yes. So we have pirun for a fork. The plural is actually by just adding a J at the end. Piruni. Piruni. Now this is a noun that has two plural, either piruni or pirun. Both are correct. And the same for flamur, which is flag, either flamui, like this with ya, or flamur. So remember, we said there are some nouns that have two different ways to say them in plural. Chorap, either chorape, so that's a sock, either chorape or with a chorap. So chorap. It doesn't have a J at the end, but since we mentioned some nouns that have two forms. Plural definitely said it, so an extra at the end. And there are nouns that I didn't categorize them anywhere. There are very regular ones. So we have z for voice. I did write the plural there. Zera, voices. She for rain, shira, rains. So you use it in like heavy rains. Shira, the dendur, shira. Ple, it means fertilizer. However, in plural, it changes a bit the meaning. Plehra, then it means like garbage. Because fertilizer is not really countable. However, if you do put it in plural, the meaning changes a bit. So it's fertilizer, it's a garbage then. Mal, that's a product. Malra, the plural. Fshat, fshatra, villages. Bar, barra. Check out an extra at the end to avoid the r. Either weed or grass, yes, bar. So these nouns have the same endings. Zera, shira, plehra, malra. Then we have some others with bread, breter, kings. Vla, vlezer. Prind, prinder. Strat, streter, change of vowel. A to e for bed. Kunat, kuneter, also change of vowel. So brothers-in-law, kuneter. Prift, not only that priftering. Gisht for finger, gishtering, fingers, gishtring. Tsiap, that's really good. Tsiep, so changes the vowel. Dash, dash, also. Thes is sack, thas, the plural. Thas. Kal, quai, irregular form. Thunder, groom, thundur, yes, very regular. Dial, diem, boy, boys, or sons. Some nouns have the same form. Chen, chen stays the same. Su, su, muai, muai, ni muai, du muai, du su, du chen. Plural definite, I should point out there. Chen, the plural definite is chent with an extra not simply a t. The same for su, sut. However, muai, just simply put a t at the end, muait, like that, without an extra Chelas, chelsa, kiss. Thick, plural with ch, fitch. Mig, mich. Akul, ice. In the plural, it doesn't refer to ice cubes, actually it refers to the ice in the North Pole, South Pole, so that's why we use it in plural. So we would often say aquit poshkrin, the ice is melting. Article, artiqui. Papagal, the bird, papagal, papagai, the plural. So yeah. So these are all like irregular forms. And what about their definite? Yes, it could be definite with an extra at the end, with an extra e, but there will always be a t. Diem, diemt, with an extra at the end. Artiqui, artiquit, simply with t. Prinder, prinderit, because we need a vowel between two consonants. So that's a plural definite for them. Okay, so that was about masculine nouns. Any questions? Can you put it? We'll do some exercises in a bit, so we'll check them out.
Yes, no questions, but it will be hard to remember all those.
It's very hard, yes, I know. The plural, you cannot just learn it in 1 or 2 lessons. You learn it with experience, with years of learning. So you just get used to them. Mir. Here we have an overview. Now this is very, very important. The endings we just learned, so the plural we just learned, that is plural in the definite form, because in the nominative case, because that's the very first case we learned in a language, in Albanian. So here we have this table we have done so far in the last 10 years, only the part to the left, so the singular ones. Now we learned this line here on top, nominative, indefinite plural, and definite plural. Remember the word disa, like word to identify the indefinite form, and that t at the end to make it definite. Now, what about the other cases? Always accusative and nominative are the same in plural. Every time, check out, they both have the same endings. There is no difference in how you build it, difference on how you use it, yes. Now we have done lessons about accusative case before. Check out those lessons, exactly how we use the singular. You will also use the plural form. Just change the noun to the plural. Exactly the same way with those prepositions, with active verbs, etc. Exactly the same way. Let's go to the dative. As long as you remember the plural in nominative, let's say libra, all you have to do to any noun there is put ve at the end, libra ve. So that's all. And there is no difference between definite and indefinite in dative. They both have ve. The usage is different, definite and indefinite. However, you build it the same way. How to use the dative, we have said it, check out the previous lessons. There are no prepositions in dative. However, there are many verbs that require the dative. Okay, keep in mind those verbs. So, and with dative, you always need a weak form of the pronoun. So, m, t, u, e, etc. Let's go to genitive. If you remember nominative, the plural, what we did today, all you have to do is put ve at the end, just like with dative, but don't forget those articles. So, for the genitive, we have done also lessons about genitive. Just like we use the singular, you'll also use a plural. And the last one, this is now also very new. Ablative has, and you will only see it there, a sh. So indefinite plural, take the plural basic form, put a sh at the end, librash. You will only see it there. For example, çfarë librash, po lexon, what books are you reading? Now, how to use the ablative? We did it. It was the last case we did. One of the usages was with çfarë librash, çfarë fletoresh, çfarë anything, mësimesh, ushtrimesh, lëng frutash, fruit juice, for example, lëng frutash, etc. So yes, that's a sh there, and then plural definite with they. So exactly the same way we used the cases in the singular form, you'll also use them in the plural. Just change the noun to the plural. It would have been very confusing if we had learned the noun both forms, singular and plural, at the beginning. So that's why I left it for the very end. Okay, those endings in blue, those are the same for every noun there is. As long as you remember the basic form in plural, and then you add those endings. Let me stop screen share for a bit. Let's see. Elizabeth, ke pyetje? Teresa, përshëndetje. Thank you for joining.
Yo, no question. Yo,
and Torben, Nicolas, Lenson? Teresa, ke pyetje?
Jo, faleminderit.
Okay, Mir. So let me continue screen share. If you'll have any, just write a message there. If you're watching from YouTube and you want to join this lesson, you can go to the very bottom of the slide, or in the video description, there is a link to join the lesson. The next lesson will be about the plural of feminine nouns. Okay, so that was this overview. And yes, except those uncountable nouns, all the other nouns will follow this table. They go through the cases, they go through the gender, they go through the forms, definite, indefinite, and through the number singular, plural. Okay, let's go to an exercise. Let's change these nouns in all four forms, definite. So the first two columns are singular, and the second two columns are plural. I'll put them in different colors. So those in yellow, singular, I'll put this in blue, plural. So yes, let's see. Torben, the first three ones. Nicolas, the second three ones. I have other exercises for other ones, don't worry, and Elizabeth for the last three ones as well. Okay, so tell me if you're ready, we can type it here.
Yes, so
or what I'll do is let me give you access so you can type directly on the slide. Give me a second. And can you please just update, just click refresh on the document, and then you'll be able to edit, to write things there. Okay. Refresh, and then you can write directly the endings. So Cholim is, yes. Does it work?
No, I cannot. We have to write.
Just double click on the slide. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now you can type.
Okay. Sure.
Write the translation for the words. Then we have Vla. And Elizabeth, you can also type there directly if you want, and the other ones as well.
Try to, but somehow it doesn't work. Maybe it's up to the browser. Maybe I used the wrong browser.
So let me give you here. Okay, now it works. Two of them are typing. Okay, perfect.
I cannot.
You cannot. Okay. Teresa, would you like to try? I think I said the first, second, and third for Torben.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
Just double click.
I'm on iPad. I'm not sure if I.
Okay, no problem. Nicolas, would you like to try?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, whether you know the plural or whether it works.
Well, I'm thinking about the plural. I'm not ready now.
Okay, remember the very first rule we said was about nouns that end in im. You can check out the previous slide we did.
Yes, I will check.
So month, dimmer, that means winter. Hotel, hotel. Bar, it's a bar. Chen, that's a dog. So Torben wrote qytet, correct? Definite qyteti. Then plural from today, qytete, and plural definite qytetet, correct. And you wrote qëllim as well. So qëllimi, correct. Then we have qëllime, qëllimet, and sorry. Oh wait. All right, I have the wrong one. Wait. There is qëllim. Here it is qëllimi. Then it is qëllime and qëllimet. And përkthyes, correct as well. So translator, përkthyes, definite singular përkthyesi, plural stays the same. Professions that end in S are the same in plural, përkthyes, and plural definite përkthyesit. Okay, Elizabeth, would you like to read the last three ones?
Sure. Hotel, hoteli, hotele, hotelet.
Shumir.
Dimmer, dimri, dimra, dimrat.
Shumir.
Muai, muait.
Muait. Shumir, muait. Vla, definite of Vla is Vlai, the brother. Chen, definite of Chen is Cheni. So these actually, the first two columns are from previous lessons. Bare, baret. It's a loan word, takes a. Chent with an extra a. Velazer.
Okay.
Velazerit. Velazerit. This one. Okay. So those in blue are those what we did today. Those in yellow are actually from long ago, from previous lessons. Mir, questions? Can you put in?
Bar, what does it mean? What meaning does it here? Different meanings.
It's a different one, yes. Bar is the bar where you go and drink.
Ah, okay. Because
but it could also be grass or weed, yes. But if it is that, then it has other. So then it would be bara and bararat. But the rest is the same. Barbari.
Okay.
Yes. Mir, slide nummer staten wird. Okay. Teresa, can you read it out, please?
The qytetin e madh burat dhe djemt e rinj dolën të feshtinj. Shokët u ndlodhen në park të luaj futboll. Mësuesit e shkollave organizuan aktivitete sportive për nxënësit e tyre. Në mbrëmje miqt vendosen të shkojnë në kinema. Nënat e tyre përgatiten një darkë të shijshme për ta. Kur erdhi fundi i ditës, të gjithë burrat dhe djemt u kthyen në shtëpinë e tyre, duke biseduar për ditën e mrekullueshme që kishin kaluar.
Mir, Teresa, can you identify some words that you see in plural?
Yeah, burrat and djemt.
Theater, what else?
Shokët.
Correct.
Mësuesit.
Correct.
E shkollave. Aktivitete sportive. Miqt Nenat etira. Burat.
Burat, correct.
Again. The Djemt again.
Djemt, Shumir.
And
correct.
Tira. No, that's
it's
one.
only one there.
Yeah.
Mir, but it's so there are some that are feminine
Dita.
nouns. So that's feminine. This is feminine, and there is another one.
Right. Okay.
So we'll talk about those another time. Mir, we have also nzansit. This one here, nzansit. Mir, if you see a T at the end, it's a definite plural. Burat, djemt, msuesit, djemt, burat again, shokat, nzansit. This is a definite plural, micht, because it's the subject of the sentence. If it's definite, it's typically the subject. Okay, Torben, let's take burat. Can you tell me the 4 forms? So singular?
Bura, buri, bura, burat.
So bur, singular, buri, bura, and burat. Yes. Elizabeth, how about djemt? What is the basic form for djemt?
Djal, djali, djem, and djemt.
Djemt. Let's go for Mik. Nicolas?
So Mik, Miku, Michte.
And?
Michte.
Given Micht, correct. Mik, Miku, Mich, Micht. How about Nzanas? Who is there? 1 second. Elizabeth said. There is it? Nzanas?
I'm not sure. Nzen?
Nzanas, Nzansi, that's a singular. Now the plural, it ends in S.
Nzenas?
Stays the same. And plural definite?
Nzenas.
The one given there, Nzansit.
Nzansit, okay.
Nzansit, yes. Here, activitet, activiteit ti, activiteit te, activiteit tet. Okay. Torben, would you like to translate it?
The 4 words, the other text.
Yes, all of it.
In the big city, men and young boys went out to party. That friends met in the park to play football. The teachers of the schools organize sport activities for their pupils. In the evening, the friends decided to go to the cinema. Their mothers prepared delicious dinner for them. When the day came to an end, all men and boys returned to their homes, talking about their lovely day they spent.
They had spent. Shumir, correct. Yeah. Okay, so yes, the plural of nouns, they are all, let me see, other than this, all of the rest are definite. So you know it's definite because of that T at the end. And the definite, we said it's used typically as a subject, but then it depends which definite is it. Is it a definite from nominative, accusative, dative? From dative, genitive, and ablative, we didn't see any, but nominative and accusative were most of them. That's nominative, that's the subject. Also here, shock, the subject, msuesit, the subject, organization, activitated, that's accusative. What did they organize? Pernzansit, that's accusative because of per. Micht, kushmicht, nominative, the subject. Burat, djemt, the subject as well. Okay, ushtrimi slide 18, exercise on slide 18. There are some sentences. We are going to change them from singular to the plural. Now, if we change the noun, those words in bold, it means that we need to change the verbs as well. So you can either try to type the answers in the chat or you can try to type on the slide. Let's see, needed to there are 10 and there are 4 of you. So let's do Mie, number 1, 2, 3, Elizabeth. 4, 5, 6, Nicholas. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, Lenson is also there. Let me see. Lenson. No. The last 4 ones, Teresa. Here, take your time. If you're watching from YouTube, you can pause the video and try to find out the answers. You can pause them in the comment section below. If someone is ready, we can, or I'll give you some minutes so you can all hear it. So if we put the noun in plural, we need to change the verb as well. Correct. Mia, who wrote the first one? Elizabeth, I think.
Yes.
Mia, would you like to read it out?
Sure. Burat popin cafe in the park.
Shumir. Correct. So burat from definite singular you put it definite plural. It's still the subject. Nummer 2.
Diemt poluain metop na obor.
Obor.
Okay.
So the boys are playing with ball. It's like a yard.
Okay.
Number 3.
Masusit poshpiegoin mesimen eri. So the teachers are explaining the new lesson.
Shumim, suesit, kushum suesit. They're all, let me see, yes, they're all nominative. Numeri 4. Who had number 4?
I had it. Mieke po visitoin pacientet in hospital.
Shumir. So mieku, plural, it's a profession, takes a plural definite and extra T. Nummer 3.
E ingenieret på meren med nye projekt teori.
Shumir. Nummer 4.
Polițet roine rendin ze cetățeni ciutet.
That's Shumir. So ruai rendin means to anyone knows?
Yo.
To keep order. Yes, to keep order and like quietness or calm, quiet in the city. Quietness in the city. So to keep order, ruai rendin. Mir. Number 7. Who knows that? Who can do it?
I think I have that. Is it it's so difficult to pronounce. Zensit?
Zensit, correct.
Po mesoni.
And Zensit po mesoin.
Mesoin.
So the subject. Numeri 3.
Studiosit.
Studiosit. Correct. Studiosit po.
I'm not sure.
Check out the ending. Mesoin, mbain.
Mbain. Okay.
New conference.
New conference.
Skensore stays the same. Number 9.
Artistic.
So artist, that's a plural with a. You put an extra T. Artisted.
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 Po Schwatchoin.
Schwatchin. It doesn't have a J. Schwatch. So for Schwatch, they are showing. For Schwatchin.
Po Schwatchin nie exposit arti.
Arti. Exposit arti. Art exhibition. Numeri 10. Mieku.
Is it miekut? No, I'm not sure.
So check out the 4 forms. Miek, definite mieku. It's a profession, so takes a at the end. Mieke. Mieke.
Aha.
Miekat.
Potis getoin.
Ref. Nya.
Rasti.
Rasti. Thunderlikuar. Mir. Torben, can you translate these sentences? All of them?
I'll try. The men drink coffee in the park.
They are drinking, happening now.
They're drinking. Yeah. The boys are playing with a ball in the yard.
Shumir.
The teachers are explaining a new lesson.
The new lesson, definite.
The new lesson, yeah. The doctors are visiting the patients in the hospital.
So in this case, it has the meaning of they are checking them. What's the English word? Or is it visit? No, or is it to check them? To check them up? Yeah, not like to pay a visit.
Not sure. Okay, but I know
making rounds.
I guess to make the round, yes.
Mache eine Visite, that's what you mean.
Eine Visite machen, genau. Yeah. Okay. Nummer bes.
The engineers Pomeren, I don't know in English. They are. Sie befassen sich mit in German.
Genau, oder sich beschäftigen, I guess, oder befassen.
Beschäftigen
they are, I guess, dealing with. They are
dealing with, they are dealing with a new project. Yeah. Engineers are dealing with a new project. The policemen are
rending to keep order.
Keep the order and the quietness in the city. Sie sorgen für Ruhe und Ordnung. Yes. The pupils are learning for the exam. The students?
No. The Wissenschaftler.
The studio is
researchers or scientists.
Researchers, yes, that's it. The researchers are making, how is in English?
I guess holding a conference.
Holding a conference.
A scientific conference.
Scientific conference, yes. The artists. Stellen da
Schwarz to show.
To show, yeah.
Or showing an art exhibition.
Exhibition, yeah.
Or presenting, I guess, to present, to show. The miekat.
And the doctors are discussing about a complicated case.
Case, show me. Rust case. And ras, without the T, it would be grammatical case. Nominative, accusative, that would be a ras. Mir, so check out from.
Yes.
Yes, questions? Yeah. So buri from singular, nominative, indefinite, we did it. We kept the same case, just we changed the plural noun. So they're all nominative in both of them. They're all the subject, they're all definite. Normally the subject is definite. Okay. So as I said, there's a lot to talk about plural of nouns. Pay attention to slide number 3. Yes, for many words we do have some rules. However, the plural is quite irregular, and these are the common endings that we said. These with e, I, nya. And there are some nouns, just a few of them, not many, that have 2 forms in the plural. And then there are nouns that have 2 genders, and those are nouns that belong only to this rule, to the suffix that ends in e. So all the nouns that you see here, except the exceptions at the bottom, all the other nouns that you see here in plural, they're all feminine. This will be relevant if you were to use an adjective after a possessive pronoun or anything else. Then you'd need to use the feminine ones, not the masculine ones. Yes, what else? And this is the most, so I ranked them here according to which one is the most common one. So the most common are nouns that end in e. The second common, those that end in a, and nya. So from the most common to the least common suffix to build the plural. In general, pay attention if it's a foreign noun, like 90%, it will take an a in plural, right? For the rest, good luck. Mir, Keni donje pyetje, is there something else you'd like to ask? And this table, very important, right? You can take a look at you can check out the videos we did about the other cases, dative, genitive, ablative, how to use them. The plural of nouns will be exactly the same like the singular. The usage will be the same. There is nothing new to learn about these cases. Just like we use the singular, you'll also use the plural of nouns. Here. As I said, the next lesson will be about the plural of feminine nouns, and then we'll start with the plural of adjectives, and then pronouns. Yes. Any other questions? Any feedback? Any suggestions about the next lessons? Any topic you'd like to learn about? You can all give suggestions about anything. You can write them also in the comment section below. As I said, the next lesson will be next month, and it's always at the same time, 5 p.m. Albania time, and it's always the same link to join. This is the Skype link. In order not to miss the future lessons, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to book a private lesson, there's the email. Okay, then that's what I had prepared for you today. I thank you very much for joining. I hope to see you next time.
Faleminderit.
Faleminderit dhe juve, mirupafshim.
Mirupafshim.
Mirupafshim.